Good morning, good morning. How are each and every one of you on today? Bringing you a story where two black men were wrongfully convicted. They spent 17 years incarcerated for a murder that they did not commit. Now, the witnesses that were there said that these two men never had a gun and was always innocent. But they were charged and convicted, even though the evidence always pointed to their innocence. Now, they have won their appeal and they are officially declared innocent. And they are looking at a $900,000 each payout for their incarceration, of being incarcerated at a rate of $140 a day. Now, we prove their innocence beyond a shadow of doubt, Della said. Now, she is one of their attorneys that represented them in this case. And so she's a defense attorney, and her actual name is Della Donna. And they proved their innocence beyond a shadow of a doubt. And although the two people that were shot, they didn't suffer serious injuries, so there was no fatalities, and I'm not downplaying people being shot. But however, given them the type of time that these two men were sentenced, and they were found guilty on 11 counts of attempted murder and sentenced to 11 consecutive life sentences. 11. This trial should have never been brought in the first place because there was no evidence tying them to the shooting. I mean, zero evidence. But they were still convicted. Almost 17 years in prison for an attempted murder in a 2004 shooting that they did not participate in at all. But now there is a new law requires the state to pay them $140 for every day they spent behind bars, which is almost about $900,000. Now, Dupree Glass and Juan Rayford, they relied heavily, their convictions relied heavily on two witnesses who later recanted their stories. And during a 5-year investigation, defense attorneys found multiple other witnesses who said, oh no, they weren't the shooters. They never had a gun. So the Innocent Right Project at the University of California, Irvine School of Law took up their case because they appealed it. It began back in October. And they won their appeal. They was released in 2020, but this story is just coming out. And the actual gunman, if you must know who the actual gunman is, his name was Chad Brandon Maxwell, a gang member serving a life term for murder in an unrelated case. And that happens a lot, you guys, or ladies and gentlemen. That happens a lot. And this case should have never been brought in the first place. So, Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge H. Clay Jacks, his decision on Thursday was a long, detailed ruling exonerating them for any and all crimes related to the shooting, said defense attorney Eric Dubin. Today, the judge righted a wrong, Dubin said. He said, in my over 30 years of trying cases, I never experienced such a magical moment where I'm able to see justice come to light so vividly. Dubin said he expects the State Victims Compensation Board to approve the nearly $900,000 in compensation due each man under the new law. On top of that, the defense attorneys plan on suing the state, county, and district attorney's office for wrongful prosecution. Now, you know the district attorney's office didn't immediately respond to a request for comment on the judge's decision. You know they're not going to respond because they know they're wrong. They're not going to respond when they continually wrongfully convict men, and especially black men. Black men are convicted at a higher rate than any other race. Yes, they are. And we keep seeing these conviction overturned, constantly overturned. There are too many black men, and men in general, but too many black men that are wrongfully convicted. Wrongfully convicted. They went in when they were 17 and 18 years of age. Glass is 36 now, and Rayford is 37. They both work as drivers for Walmart. They're currently working. And Rayford is with his high school sweetheart, who waited for him while he was in prison. And both men are new fathers to baby girls. And so Glass says, I'm not big for words, but today it is a wonderful day. Man, Mr. Glass, not just a wonderful day, but an outstanding day. That the judge did the right thing and made a wrong a right. See, let me tell you something. When something has happened and is wrong, there should be a swift, immediate release of the wrongful conviction. Nobody should serve time behind bars longer than they have to when there is new evidence or a case has been appealed and you find out that they have been wrongfully convicted. They need to be released immediately without a lot of litigation once that evidence is presented. But we see today a lot of men that have been wrongly convicted, they have to spend time behind bars in litigation before they can be released. And I explained to you all before that in our state, in the state of California, the highest attorney, the state attorney, Bonta, says they shouldn't have to go through all that litigation once there's new evidence or the evidence was already there and they had an appeal and it was overturned and they should be released. And I agree with that. But you again have these overzealous, corrupt district attorneys, corrupt police officers. I'm not saying all of them are corrupt, but there is a lot of them because we see a lot of these wrongful convictions being overturned, vindicated, or exonerated. And getting back to Glass, Mr. Glass says, for 20 years we've been living this nightmare. It's a nightmare, to be beyond prison walls when you know you are truly, fully, 100% innocent. It's a nightmare because all you can think about is how your freedom has been forcefully taken from you. And you're at the hands, the mercy of someone else, a third party, to believe you, to take on your case, to help you for a wrongful conviction that really should have never happened in the first place. He says it's finally over. Mr. Glass says it's finally over. We can go on with our lives. But do you not know that that stuff sticks with people when they have been wrongfully convicted? There's so much trauma behind it. When you know you are 100% innocent and you have been wrongfully convicted. And see, this pair, Mr. Dupree Glass and Mr. Ron Rayford, they maintained their innocence from the beginning. They were not involved in the shooting. They were never involved in the shooting. They never had a gun. During the 5-year investigation, defense investigators found multiple other witnesses who said, oh no, they never had a gun. They were never the shooters. See, people be lying a lot. Just like in this R. Kelly case, lying a lot. You know what I'm saying? But see, let me tell you something. The good news is there's a new statute which took effect in 2020, gives the defense a chance to show that there is a preponderance of evidence showing innocence. And guess what? Again, they proved they're innocent beyond a shadow of a doubt. A shadow of a doubt. And these young men can go on with their lives. They're working. And they're due a settlement. And that judge declared them rightfully innocent because they were. And I want you all, please, get the discussion started in the comments below. Let me know what you think about these wrongful convictions. And if you have something to add to it. Because we can all learn something about it. It doesn't have to be our family members. But the fact that we keep seeing black men wrongfully convicted at the hands of a corrupt judicial system. And none of them seem to be held accountable for what they're doing, their behavior. And then some of them come out and say, well, I stand behind the conviction. I stand behind District Attorney blah, blah, and District Attorney JoJo. You know what I'm saying? When you know that's wrong. And when you make a mistake, you need to come back and say, we're sorry, we made a grievous mistake. It was a bad mistake. But no, they want to run and hide and say they stand behind their convictions. But the evidence is already there. They should not have been charged to begin with. A lot of these men that are being exonerated, that were wrongfully convicted, they should have not been convicted in the first place. And as I stated to you all before, I can go on and name names. And the list continues to grow. But I wish Mr. Dupree Glass and Juan Rayford, I wish them all the success and blessings in the world. I know it won't be easy. But keep moving forward, young brothers. Love your children, the daughters you've got. Love them. Teach them. Help them. And then when there's a moment that you feel like you need some type of therapy because you're suffering from the trauma and being wrongfully convicted, get the help you need. But I just thank God for your freedom. And I pray that not only just because you're physically free, that you can get the help if you need it to be mentally free. Because it's a difficult decision and you're going to be facing, some trials and tribulations. But your decision don't have to turn back to where you just came from. Your past doesn't have to determine your future. And that's the thing. Your past does not have to determine your future. Keep moving forward. Keep doing the right thing. Love it on your children that you have. moving forward, because it's important. It's important because God gave you another chance, because they weren't going to give it to you. Even though you didn't do anything wrong. Let's be clear. You didn't do nothing wrong. But God is giving you another chance. Because there are still men behind bars right now that are innocent. And so when your blessings come up, praise God. Praise God. Praise God. So with that being said, you all, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Share the video. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the channel. And again, let me know what you think about this. What are your thoughts on this? And what can we do moving forward? Because I've been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot. Because it's just too much when people are not being held accountable for these wrongful convictions. God bless you all on today.